All right, hello everybody. Welcome back to my channel. A special thank you for those that are support me on Patreon. Today I will talk about blueprint a little bit. I will not give you a tutorial in this video about how you do it. It's just to you see how you do it a little bit, the possibilities and all that about the plugin. Today basically is gonna show you the plugin and the communication, how it get to Arduinos and Arduino to Unreal Engine. That's what I will be talking here about. So if you don't didn't watch the previous video, I really recommend it to just watch it so you know what I'm talking about here about that and not be lost about it. Okay. So first of all, this is a plugin and this is all the available function for it and what you have to understand that you will be using to communicate with Arduino and receiving information for Arduino. I will show you comparisons and how I did it and how I implement to search those Arduino here, and that's basically what I'll be talking about here. Okay, so let's talk about first this. This is the plugin and the little community that the people that doing it for free and share to us this information. And I mean, you can find here different versions of Unreal Engine that you can use this plugin for. And basically, here is the logo they use for it. Kind of explain what it does, and it's very simple. And if you want to read about a lot about this and support these guys, they're doing a great job with this. And yeah, this is the website. I will put the link below so you know where this come from and where you can get responding communication. They got Discord and all that too. So yeah. So okay, let's go back here and explain a little bit how it works and how actually communicate with the serial com and ports. So basically, this is the closing. When you open it, you have to close it, so don't get freeze up on the Arduino when you're using real. So this is how you close it, and this is how you basically flush your line when whatever is not read, and it give you a little uh, message what it does. So what you will be more interested is what actually I use and for make the achievement that I did, and basically it's gonna be for start the initialization of this report. It's other ways that I be honest with you, I don't use it. I didn't understand it because I really don't need it for what I was planning, and but they have more option here for flow controls and I don't know what those means exactly. I don't, but I basically simplify and make everything work the way that I think it was simple for me to understand it. But if you're expertise on what these all mean, RTS and all that, you know what they're talking about, and you probably will use and you can implement in your pinball, and that's great. But the only thing that I use from here is basically the close port, flush, the initial communication, and then the printing serial line to output, and the to input. The only thing you need is basically the read line. That's where you want to read the lines. It's also capable of doing bytes in floats and integers and all this. So you got all the options here that you can read that data if you love to use that and understand it better. And if you don't see any complication to the communication with it, you can use those packages, basically package all what you have in Arduino and back and forward in bytes, so you can use that. But as you see my previous video, I very simplify everything to the way that it's just a one letter initial to communicate, and that's all you need. I mean, you have basically the whole keyboard in capital letters and a smaller letter to use. So I mean, and everything is by the each Arduino. So you basically have a lot, a ton of letters to use and communicate. So yeah, over here in the bottom, I give you a lot. I give it sample how it you can use it and implement it, and this basics information that when you begin start the game, it will in this case it will enable the keyboard, and then it will add the port because in this one they actually put it manually, and I will show you how I implement a little system that basically find the port, so you have to know what port you are connected. So when you connect your USB, you assign a port in your computer, and that's the port number that you will put in your Arduino. Like when you are using Arduino, you know what I'm talking about here. So when you plug in your Arduino to USB, the computer will assign a port to that connection, and that's basically the port number here. And if you need more information about that, I can do a video, so do a little tutorial how you basically look all those. But like I said before, it's plenty information down on the internet that talk about it, and how you connect Arduino, and all that information is out there, super easy to find. So you can address those in search on YouTube or whatever, and you will find a lot of information of it. On the blueprint, basically you define what port is connected, and the radar brand, and this is in the Arduino. You will see the serial communication. You get a number. Basically, it's 9600 most of the time, and I mean, I don't know what if you can increase that and if it will be better or not. I just use the standard what people recommend, and that's what I did. So I didn't start try and error on this. If people recommend this, that's what I go for, and that's what I did. So um and yeah, and this is give you a sample when it check the port, it connected, it check if it's open or closed. In this case they didn't use that, but they basically say if this is open, and if it's yes, it will flushes and it will assign it here. This is basically a object, and basically it assign whatever is here to one block, and now basically whatever is here is the same that here. So but right now it's assigning here. So and now you have this is gonna call my serial port. It basically is your Arduino, and then it will flush it and it will send a message to the Arduino, and now they say we are connected. They basically sending, typing by hand, we are connected, and that's this message that it's sending to Arduino, and that's the way that you send back to Arduino. That's why you say zero print line, and then that's it. Basically it give you to Unreal Engine the message. This is developer only, so it will say in the corner here that the message when that happens. That's for development purpose only. So yeah, and I give you a couple sample here. If you press a keyboard and you wanna close the port and send in other lines, and also yeah, here is when press Q, it close the port and close the port's closed. So yeah, it's a lot of information about. It's very simple information on this, and this is basically what you need. How many the port that you're gonna connect, what you're gonna send back to Arduino, and what you're gonna read in Arduino, and that's the only thing that you will be using here. I will show you now what I'm talking about. Okay, so over here, um, this is my MechWarrior pinball. I got plenty going on here, but I'm not gonna go through to it. I'm just gonna show you how it get connected, and then a little bit how it work. Okay, just rough, so you have a little understanding what is possible and what you can do and how you're going to do it and all that. Okay, so when the game start, it will do a sequence, and then it will do a lot of stuff in 8 seconds, but I don't want to go through it. But what I worry about is this. So this is my line that it will in 5 seconds do the loading screen. If you see my machine, when start, I turn on and it give you loading screen, and this is for start the sequence to check the Arduinos and give you output what is going on. And then this is my interjet here that it will be assigned the port to open, that you remember here, right here. Remember, it's show open serial port. This is what I'm doing. So if you see back here, open serial port, that's what I'm doing, and I'm doing at this rate. And this is, I start with port 2. So this is just an integer, and I started in port 2 because in my computer I got 1 and 0 is not counting this one on the computer, but the port is start from 2 from 1. So I start 2, 3, 4, 5 above. So I want to start checking one by one, and I will show you the little system that I create, and it's kind of very small, and then it go through this, but it's very simple. So basically it started checking from 2 and check if it's open. So it will check if that port, when it tried to connect it engaged something. If it did engage nothing, it will say false. If it engaged something, it will assign whatever engaged to this Arduino set, I call it. And this is just a object that when you learn Unreal Engine a little bit in Blueprint, you can create it right away from here. Like I want to create one for you see it. So just promote this variable. So you basically promote the variable, and now you put whatever name you want to add in that variable, and it will load a little bit. So right here it came behind. So this is my new variable. Instead calling Arduino, I can call it whatever I want here. And now this is going to be my new variable for that output. Okay, but of course I got it already here, just showing you a little bit so you understand if you never see blueprints. But again, it's a lot of videos so showing blueprints, and I will recommend sometime when we get to that point. Today I'm just going to talk about so you see and get in your mind the little bit understanding Arduinos in Unreal Engine, and that's the purpose of this video. And so yeah, so now if it's something open on 2, it will come to put it here in this variable, and now this variable represent whatever port is, and then it will wait 1 second and it will check what module is. If you see my last video, the Arduino is gelling right now, microcontroller A1, microcontroller A1, microcontroller A1, and it will check is that port that when you connect the USB is actually that one, and this is the way it will check. But let me go first. If it's false, what it's gonna do is, this is just, I take it out because it's for printing when I was development, but now I got it straight. So if it's false, what it's gonna do, it will do the port check one, which is my port check one here is in 2. It will add one more. So if it's 2, it will be 3 now, and it will set it, and then it will check if don't pass my limitations. So right now this is going to be my total output. So I just check 16 times. So you're going to check for 1 2 3 4 5 up to 16, and if didn't find nothing there, which is it should because it's something connected, but if it's done fine, it will stop. It don't want to continue scratching the game or something, like it doesn't find and go to thousands and thousands. So you just control it here. I know when I start connecting all my Arduinos, it's gonna be up to 10. You use 10 Arduino, so you're just gonna put 25 come to check. So 25. So it will check 2, 3, 4 up to 20. If you didn't find it there, you will see on the computer, but over here you will set the total. That's what it's checking. If it didn't pass that total, if it didn't pass, it will wait a delay of whatever delay I put here to check the next port. I just put 0.1 second, and it will go back here and start again. And now we're going to check port 3, and it will check if it connected. In this one, let's say that it did connect on port 3. Now it will check the module, and this is going to be a delay for 2 seconds. So it gives you time to check the module in this 2 seconds before start again to check port 2. Okay, and then basically I got 7 here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, because I got 7 Arduinos. So I repeat this sequence 7 times. And okay, so right now it says yes. So I'm gonna go check my module. Let's say what module is, and this is another function that is called, and it's right here on the side. So now here is serial read. If you see here, we got the read here, serial read. This is what it's gonna be the out input. So we're gonna check what is coming, what you got. Okay, so it's right here. So we're gonna set this Arduino nano set, which is our variable that we set here. Okay, it's right here. So you see, this is our variable here. Now let's go back here. Now we're gonna check this if what this Arduino is saying. It will read. If it read, it will set whatever is reading to this value. This is will be the string. Remember on my if you see my other videos, I say it will check the string, and this is the string that is checking on that serial It will check that string the Arduino is typing. Okay, now if if it's so it will read it will I give you a little delay of 0.1 second to kind of make sure what is reading, but I think I test, and if you put 0.05 second it will read it, and it will already read it, but I just want to make sure that it already the this equation when it's check module it gonna be true. I just want to make sure that happened, so that's why I give you 0.1 second of delay. And then if it's true it will flush, because now it will flush to zero count, because I already read whatever is here, and it's already set, now over here. So now it will check if the is saying this. So basically now we will check if it's saying main controller one in my spreadsheet. That's exactly what I have. And of course in the Arduino, we just see my preview, it's always every 100 milliseconds is saying this. So now basically when it's reading, it's checking if it's this. So over here I got just a boolean that basically when it comes to this part, it will check if this module it was already activated. But and right now we're starting the process, so basically it's not activated, so it's going to be false. And now it will check if it's saying the Arduino saying this, which is because we're working with in the main controller number one. And now if is it will set this count, which is another count that I do other process. I talked about that, but basically we'll set this to zero, and now it will print. And this is another option that I talk here when you want to get an output. So when you want to get an output, you print a line and you type whatever you want to send here, and that's what it's going to say to Arduino. Whatever you type here is what it's going to say to Arduino. So right here, as you see, I type in I. It's just, I mean, you can use this one. I just want to say, you know what, just say I, because it's just one communication. You can say whatever you want. I just say, just make sure that they understand I. and I show you that in videos that you just can say it once. You don't have to say it more, but I'm very picky. Or sometimes I just say, you know what, just say, it's so excited a little bit. Just put it whatever it will understand it anyway. So, and then it will also give you a confirmation if this transaction it complies when it happens, and if it pass, it will continue and activate. That's what it will set this. Now it will be true. It will set it to true, and then now what is happening here, that this variable now it will convert it to my main controller A1. So now I'm set, and I know that this variable now is in that port that come from this one, and it will set all the value that I have here to this variable, and this is going to be my variable that I will call all the time when I want to talk with the Arduino number one, or the main controller, in this case A1 because it's Arduino one. Okay, and then so I will say, you know what, just start flushing that thing again, and just in case, just send it I again to see if the communication is working, and if they didn't communicate, but it will communicate. I just kind of do a double just because preventing, and sometimes if something get delayed or something, I don't know, can happen, and cut it, so you kind of support that twice. And it's not gonna affect nothing. It's just do it again just in case. And then this function that I call here is just basically for and that's another video I can talk about it, for my widgets, and say that this Arduino is already connected, and it will show green on your widget, but when you go to the options you will see that color. And but that's basically, and then it's just do the loading screen that connect and give you more indication, and that's what it does. So basically that's for one, and as you see, I got it 7 times because I got 7. It will do this process 7 times, and it will start checking in order. So it will check for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and the way that I did it, that every time that check 1, it will go back again, check where is it, another one, where is it, and so like that. It basically what does is, no matter when you disconnect your USB from your computer, or the computer that you're using for your pinball machine, no matter if you connecting another port, it will find it. It will find it. So it will find it, and it's already found it. It will set it. So basically, that's why this is basically the little system that I made for check the port that your Arduino is connected. So you don't have to worry about, oh, what port I connect this Arduino, or and do it manually every time. So this is gonna do it automatic for you. And every time you turn off your machine and do a troubleshooting or whatever you want to do, and you want to disconnect your play field and take it out, so you disconnect just those USBs, and then when you reconnect it, you don't worry about, because this is gonna do the job for you. And yeah, that's basically the system. And then let me show you what is the second part here of this video, that is basically what when it's reading all the time. And this is a function that I made for check signal for all the Arduino, and you will have this if you're doing this. And I will show you that this function is actually my main event, and it's right here in my tick. Every time that it's doing a tick, the first thing it's doing is doing this function. This function is this one, and then basically every tick it will check, it will read Arduino 1, 2, 3, 4, and up to all the Arduino you have. You will be adding here how many Arduino you will have in your project. And then so you can have plenty, whatever you, how many USB you want to put in your computer, hubs, and it will work. So look how simple is when you're reading your Arduino by tick and with your real engine. So real engine will say, you know what, let me check if this module, remember when we set that variable to make my control, so you will working with this all the time in your project, and it will check first if it's valid, so make sure it will connect before doing this transaction. And if it's valid, it will read the line, whatever Arduino is saying every tick. If it's not saying nothing, it will just confold all the time. It will stay right here. But when as soon Arduino says something, it will be tracked by this, and it will set that to this variable of string. And you can create those the same way that I showed you previously, and you will assign it whatever name you want and all of that. So basically right now, whatever is reading here per tick, it will be set here, and it will continue, and it will say if what it say here, which is here, this is the same thing. This is the way that you set it, and this is the way that you read it, and you get. This is set, and this is get. It's same thing. When the Arduino receive it, if it's true, then what I do next. That's basically, if it's not, it will check the second one, and this is my left sling. If it say left sling, what you want me to do next? But if it's not, it continue to here, and I got another function here, so kind of organize a little bit, and it will call this by sequence. You can do it by sequence, or you basically have to do one by one, because this is per tick, so you have to remember that. So every tick it will check everything, every tick it will check everything. And if it's a coin, now what you if it's say coin, now what you want me to do next. That's basically what it's doing. So for everything. So yeah, if, like for example here it say coins, if it's true, it will flush it, and then if you check if it's a test that you pressing this because of test. If it's not, it will call the function for coin. It will send Q to Arduinos, just if you want to say that okay, it actually detect the call, and then the function to add the credit in this case. And this is a function that I made, so when it detect a coin, it will add a credit. Simple as that. So and yeah, so on. Tile tilt, the same thing. If it's test, if it's not, what you want me to do next? So I do a function for tilt, and like that is basically that Arduino is checking all the time, one by one, everyone. So it check one, it check two, three, but so this is so fast that man, it just checking. So and you will, if you press a switch in your machine, it will detect it here and say, okay, you press this, what I do next, And yeah, so and that's one thing. And then you got the other part that basically is when our Unreal Engine talk back to uh, Arduino. And I got this here, and basically this is all my communication back to Arduino. So basically I don't have much, a lot of stuff going back to Arduino. Is just a simple thing. So the example that I want to do is basically the shaker. But right here, if I want to set my flipper to active, I call this function, and basically what is set back to the Arduino number one is F. If you see my previous video, you will see over there that if I type F, it will activate the flipper. If I type little f, it will deactivate. So right here is the calls. So if I call this is what is going to happen, and so on. So if you see in my other videos, you say I talk about the shaker. When I call the shaker, and this is the way the Unreal talk about the shaker. So if I call shaker on, it will make sure if you got the in my game, I put a check mark that you can turn off your shaker if you don't like it. And if it's on, it will turn on the shaker, checking the call here. If it's valid, it will flush it because it's already read it, and it will send B. So before sending the message, I flush it, and I think that just clean the Arduino because I'm ready to send something. That's what I did it that way. Um, and yeah, so and then if I want to turn off that motto, I say check it off, and you send this to Arduino. And I will show you here that over here I got my events for all my shakers. So right here, this is all my events that I call for my shakers to do everything automatically. So when I call on shake, what it do, it's send shakers on. So you see, you go to this, and then it will wait 3 seconds, so that when this is on, the engine is going to start, I mean the motor is going to start turning for 3.5 seconds, and it will call off after that. Simple as that. And then over here it just wait 3 seconds and send it back again. So just in case. But yeah, if I want to do a shaker for 1 second, that's what it do. When you call this function, it will turn on for 1 second, turn off after 1 second. And I got different motion of shaker here. Simple. If I want to call what I call shake 1 2 3, it will turn on for 1 second, off, turn on back again for 1 second, off, and it's just gonna do like 3 times. And every time that I call this function, it will send this to Arduino, and it will do that. So I got different ones here: tiny shake, medium shake, small shake, and all this. And this is what you use to when you do your events. Let's say you hit this target, and you hit this target, and you want the shakers to shake. So every time that you hit the target, you put this function, and it will hit it. It will engage the call to the Arduino, and that's it. And I will not show you all the code because it's plenty of functions in my game. But yeah, but like this you can understand the basics of how the communication work, which is the main thing is how you connect your Arduino. The second thing is how you check those signal, and the third thing is basically how you communicate back. And that's why I want to do this video. And I will go a little bit more further explaining better stuff of how you can implement rules, and I will talk about the throw because the control, because I invent some coding and sequence that that the Arduino read when you want to read. No, it's reading constantly in your balls and all that. It just read whenever you tell it to read, and I will talk another video about that in the blueprint code and all stuff like that. So yeah, I hope you enjoy the what I'm showing you here, and if you like it, you know what to do, and if you don't like it, you know what also to do. Thank you for the support, and God bless you, and take care.